a little bit about where the music came from? Like, how did you get started with that?
You know, it's really kind of wild, right? Growing up, a couple of homeboys, and I'm just going to show you how the universe works, right?
Right.
I had a couple of homeboys. They had a rap group. At the time, it was called the Lost Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we know since then, the Lost Boys from New York came out. You know, they had, you know, some big records and whatnot. Shout out to them. But my guys from Detroit actually had that name first, you know, or at least before we had heard about the guys from New York.
Right.
A couple of parallels. One of my partners in the group, he had a girlfriend named Renee. Obviously, one of the Lost Boys big hits was called Renee. You know, so it was a lot of parallels and everything, right? And but the point is that my partners were rap, and of course we were thick as thieves. You know, we was hanging and everything, and I wanted to be a part of what they were doing. You know what I'm saying? They was dope. You know, they were doing shows and everything, and I was like, wow, you know, I got a story to tell. I got something to say, and that's basically what kind of sparked it. You know, we wanted to tell my story in a way, in a similar fashion to the way that they were able to tell theirs, and for it to be well received and that whole thing. So that was really the beginning of it. And obviously fell in love with music, fell in love with rap, fell in love with writing, creating, and so I just continue to build off of that.
Okay, that's good stuff. Well, thank you for sharing that. We got a couple of questions over over in the lounge, so we're gonna slide over and ask these awesome questions. So let me tell you, G da Starr's music, like he said, started trying to as an outlet. He wanted to share how amazing he was. So with that, there was a spin-off for the shirts. And so I ran across his music and was like, you know what, the world needs to know about him. So I started sharing his music, reaching out to him, and yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get into the questions. I know that it is hard work being an entertainer and an entrepreneur. So what has it be worthwhile for you?
What makes it worthwhile?
Yes.
What makes it worthwhile is being able to find a release for the creativity. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure all of my creatives can relate, right? You know, when you have a thought in your mind, you have a concept in your mind, man, to not be able to get that out and express that is frustrating, right?
Yes.
So,
very much so.
With the music, you know, the music obviously was the beginning of it, and it was like, wow, you know, I'm going through some things. I need to express it some way, somehow, get these thoughts out of my head,
yes,
and be able to release that energy, right?
Right.
And when I realized that there was people that could relate to that, they're like, wow, like, okay, this is something different, you know? And that transitioned over into T-shirt design as well. You know, you come up with, you know, some ironic T-shirts and, you know, slogans and whatever, you know, people get it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a different type of feeling. You know what I mean? It's a satisfaction that comes with that, you know? So, just being able to first and foremost be able to express myself and you kind of black out when you're in that zone, right? And then when you're done creating it, to be able to go back and look at like, wow, I did that, right? Those are my words, my thoughts, my feelings.
Yeah.
Like that makes it all work. And then when other people can relate, that's just a bonus, right? Because
It
you can't do it for other people, right? You got to do it for yourself first. You know what I mean?
absolutely have to.
People feeling it is a bonus. You know what I mean? But to be able to express it and get it out, that's what makes it all worth it for me.
Absolutely. You know, I actually had that conversation with somebody earlier today, letting them know that like when you start, because when I perform or when I write, it is all about how I'm feeling at that particular moment, whatever triggered that creativity, whatever triggered that piece. So whether it was about somebody else or about what I was going through, I was like, but when I get on that stage and I release it, when somebody says, you know what, that helped me, you're like, yeah, and I'm thinking that you have no idea how that helped me. So I totally get it, and that makes it absolutely worthwhile all day long. So thank you so much. I have another question coming right up.
All right, keep it coming. You got questions, you got questions, I got answers. What you got?
So, what is your favorite shirt design that you've done up to today?
What was my favorite?
Your favorite one. Your favorite shirt design. What was your favorite shirt design?
Wow, the one I'm wearing right now is actually one of my favorites. I don't know if y'all can see that. It says Frenemies. You know, it's a throwback to Tupac and the crew when they was on in Juice. You know, a lot of frenemies out there, you know what I'm saying? But I think my favorite design was probably the one that I designed for that album I was speaking of earlier, the Force Field. Because it was one of my first. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know, you always kind of fall in love with your first, right? So
yes.
that was one of my first. I had to like do from scratch, you know, get some of those elements in the background.
Yeah.
You know, some of the things that really made me appreciate it later on, right? And realize some of the elements that was added to it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, again, you may not get it right away, but to be able to go back and kind of see it and feel it for what it was.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, I'll definitely have to say that was my favorite.
Okay, so real quick, what was your least favorite?
Least favorite?
Yeah. Like what did you have the hardest time? And you're like, yeah, all of this, I'm not doing this one again.
I don't really have a least favorite. As far as design goes, I have the least favorite maybe as far as some of the detail work, right? So it's one of those things where other people may not notice, but because you're the designer and the artist, you notice and it bothers the hell out of you. But when you show it to anybody else and you don't say anything, they don't say anything, and you bring it to their attention, they're like, I don't see what you mean. Like, and it's, you know, it's like, oh God, okay, well, you don't see it. Cool, but in the back of your head as an artist and designer, you know it's there, and it just irritates you. You know what I mean? So, you know, and that may come in the form of, you know, when you're cutting the final print or whatever, and trying to get them very fine lines and all that kind of stuff etched out just perfectly. You know, again, you know, my trade is going to know exactly what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
But design-wise, you know, I think they all fire, so.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I totally get that. I totally get that. Thank you. So we actually have another question coming up for you.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm really tickled by the fact that you were talking about how fire it is when it's done, but how you look at it and you see every little line. Like I totally get that. And I'm just like, this didn't come out right. Like I'm gonna pull all my hair out, and everybody's like, what are you talking about? This looks amazing. Okay, so, all right. Share to I want you to share two acts that you have seen other people do to act. I'm trying to find the word that I want. Interesting acts that you have seen people make as they do work to perfect their crafts or businesses. So when I say interesting, like challenging, and you're looking at that like, why in heaven's name did they do that?
2 or 3 accidents.
Like what, okay, so I've been trying not to say this word. What dumb acts have you seen people make as they do work to perfect their craft or build their business? I've been trying not to say that because I'm like,
Okay. I got you. Well, one thing I think we all do, right, is underestimate our value. We can give things away, for a lesser price. Maybe undercut ourselves. In order just to make a sale.
When you feel like, okay, well, I'd rather make a sale than not make a sale at all.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely say that would have to be number one.
That would definitely.
Undervaluing yourself. You know what I'm saying? Which, as artists, we all do, especially in music. You know what I mean? Because in this day and age, you really have to give away a lot of content because the market is flooded.
Yeah.
With so much content, right? And really, in order to keep step with everything that's going on, you really have to stay consistent and getting music out there as quick as possible. And in doing that, sometimes, you got to give away a lot of stuff. And that's obviously how the whole mixtape thing was born and came to be, right? It's like, I want to let people know that I'm dope, but because I'm an unknown artist, people don't want to pay $10, $12, $13 for the album, so I got to get his first album away, get his music away, so people can hear me first, then they know I'm dope. Now I can boost my prices next time around, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which sometimes is necessary, but of course, you just got to be strategic about it, you know what I mean? But,
Absolutely.
so that'd be number one.
Absolutely.
I would say number two for me would be doing things or focusing more on the people who aren't your audience.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
So I made that mistake before myself, right? Where, sometimes you listen to the chatter of the people who aren't a fan of your music, and you lose focus on the people who are, right? So you find yourself, having a back and forth with some joker who say, they don't like your music or something like that. And it's like, hey, look, I learned to get to space where I just started telling people, hey, man, well, I appreciate you listening, right? Because guess what? I already got the stream by then.
Right.
And first didn't like whatever, right?
Yeah.
I value all my customers. At the same time, it's like you can't waste your energy on people who don't like it. Because the greatest artists in the world got a whole section of people who don't like what they do.
Yeah.
Right? So a lot of times, especially in hip hop, you tend to react to the people who don't like it. You know what I'm saying? And over time, I realized that was dumb. That was stupid to give my energy to people who don't appreciate or necessarily value or like, what it is I'm doing, right? So I see a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
A lot of people, on Instagram and Twitter get these, back and forth engagements with folks who, some of them hating, right? But some of them just being honest, like, hey, dude, I don't like your shit, right? And that's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's okay.
Because you ain't gonna please everybody. You're not gonna please everybody.
You're not gonna please everybody. You know what I mean? So I would say those are probably my top two, people, things that I've seen that I feel like are dumb. undervaluing yourself, and then giving too much energy to the people who are not your audience.
Okay.
You know, those people aren't your audience. Cool, rock on and make music for the people who do enjoy what it is that you do.
Yes, 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 yes. That's good stuff. That's really good stuff. Okay, so I really like that. I can totally relate to giving your energy away and giving away, having to give away your products, or not saying having to, but giving away your products in hope to make a sale. I've totally been there. Making with the different things that I've created.
Absolutely.
So they're thinking like, I put so much money into creating this, and they're like, looking at it like this is amazing, but I don't want to spend the money to actually buy it, even though it's amazing. And it's like, you're trying to get that money to come in, and you're like, I'll do this for this price, when you know that it is more than worth what you're charging to begin with. Whether that be your music, your shirts, dresses, whatever it is that a person is selling, like, you done put your whole heart and soul into that, and yeah, it's worth it, It's totally worth it. So giving that energy away. So, okay, so that was two. Do you have a third?
Oh, there was three, my bad. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you really good.
Okay, great. Okay. Let's see, what would a good third be?
Just something short and sweet.
Just,
Yeah.
well, third for me, I guess especially in hip hop, is taking it too serious, right? Like, going out here trying to be a tough guy all the time and things like that, because it's going to mess up your money, right? It's going to mess up your money opportunities and things like that, it's okay to not take every moment serious. Before, anybody feels like, well, they come from whatever background and so on and so forth, whatever, that's cool, man. Like, I grew up on the west side of Detroit, I understand. But at the same time, I realized that you gotta be able to tune into yourself.
Okay.
And find different elements of relatable material if you are going to be the biggest artist that you can be. And all that tough guy stuff don't work, right? It's cool if you feel like you ain't gonna take no mess. Hell, I ain't gonna take no mess either, but if you look to my catalog, you definitely find music that relates to relationships, to women, to losing loved ones, to real life situations, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
so you can't go out here and it's not all about being a tough guy. And this is, it's obviously a way to approach your music where you can still be yourself and approach all of those situations in life, because we all have, we all fall in love, we all have a girl or a guy.
Yeah.
We got feelings for, whether or not you're in love or not, and be able to speak on those topics and be able to find a way to relate to your audience by the masses is only going to increase your profitability. You know what I mean? So,
right.
Don't go out here trying to be, the toughest guy and everything. Somebody's going to try you, and you just asking for trouble at that point, and again, it's going to decrease your level of profitability in the long run. And at the end of the day, we all trying to feed our family the best way we can.
Yep.
We're trying to get maximum dollar that we can, so we can do just that, right? And have financial freedom. So, don't go out here and do something stupid that's going to get you locked up or worse. You know what I mean? Just because you feel like I gotta portray some image or something on this record, and not realize, hey man, somebody gonna call me out on this eventually, and I'm gonna have to be that guy in that moment.
Right.
It's unnecessary. You know what I'm saying?
I got it.
Especially in this day and age, we got enough troubles in the world without bringing trouble to our own. So,
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. It's a great conversation we are having. We got one final question for you, G da Starr, and perhaps we can get you to spit a couple lyrics. Don't keep quiet, G da Starr.
what was that again?
I said we got one more question, and then we're gonna see if we can get you to spit a couple lyrics for us.
Got a couple lyrics. Okay. It's always a good way to wrap it up.
Absolutely. Okay, so my final question. What do you know now regarding the entertainment industry or being an entrepreneur that you kind of wish you had known earlier?
I would definitely go back to one of the earlier questions and say that you can't please everybody. And the sooner that you realize that, the sooner you realize your customer base and your fan base and those who are in support, the better off you're going to be. You know what I mean?
Right.
Do it for the people that love you. Do it for the people who love your product. Do it for the people who support you and your product.
Mm-hmm.
Don't focus on the negative, right? Don't focus on people saying, hey, this ain't for me. Okay, cool.
So what is
Glad we got that understanding. It ain't for you. Move along, you know what I'm saying? And find somebody who is for you.
Okay.
So
what did you struggle with that? What did you struggle with that?
what I struggle with about that?
Yes. Did you
As a young artist, there's always going to be that struggle because, of course, we all think we're the hottest around. You know what I'm saying? And you think, well, damn, I'm spitting these bars, I'm giving this flow, dropping this delivery, what's not to like? You know what I'm saying? So early on, there was a little bit of a struggle. This real struggle really came from my crew because my crew was so fire. And early on, I was trying to do what it was they were doing, right? And they had a different element of hip hop. They came from more of what you would call a backpack type of hip hop at that time. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so what is that?
Whereas,
what is a backpack hip hop? Explain to me.
Backpack is more like underground.
Okay.
Not so much mainstream topics or mainstream tracks and beats and music.
Okay.
It's kind of more of a boom bap. Some people call it a boom bap style kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Whereas once I really found who I was, I realized I'm not that. So although I got bars, and although I can, do all these things, and I definitely incorporate those elements, when it came down to it, that wasn't who I was. So I had to find who I was. And once I did that, that's when I gained their respect. That's when I gained, dare I say, my peers as fans. You know what I'm saying? And I have been fans of their music too, so it ain't no slight in saying they became fans, but they let me know by the amount of love that they gave up once I came into my own. Okay, cool, that's you, that's your element, that's where you're gonna peak at. You know what I'm saying? And that's ultimately what happened.
Okay. Wow. I had never heard that term before. That was new. I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
So how many CDs or tracks you produced?
I don't know, a lot.
A
A
lot?
lot. As far as like solo projects,
Yes.
I have released, probably two full-length solo projects.
Okay.
Then one group project, and then countless singles and features and, yes, like I have no idea.
Do you have a favorite track?
Wow. You know, I think every time I'm finished with one, it becomes my favorite. At least while I'm writing, right?
Right.
And then by the time you're done with it, you heard it 100 times, you know, through the mixing and mastering phase of it and getting it all right and everything. And then you kind of sick of it and over it. It's like, okay, man, you know, I'm on to something else, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
until you hear it again, right? And then it's kind of your favorite again, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's kind of really hard to say that. Like they all
Okay.
ultimately are my favorite.
But you have to give me something. So, if
Well,
somebody asks you that real
it-
quick, give me a title.
If I had to give you one, I would have to say Breathe.
Okay? Why?
And yeah, Breathe was it was a dedication to my brother who passed away. And of course, every time I hear that, you know, my hairs on my arms kind of stand up, and it, you know, you kind of relive all of that stuff again, and you know, you go through all those emotions all over again, you know. But
Yeah.
the wild thing about it was I wrote the track, and purposefully it wasn't a somber kind of tone about it. It was more wrote out of anger almost at the fact that my brother wasn't here anymore, right? In the flesh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Although I do believe he's still here in spirit, right?
Absolutely.
And so it's kind of written more from a kind of an angry place, I guess. So the beat is really intense, and like I said, it's not a somber kind of I miss you kind of vibe. It's more of a, you know, why you leave kind of vibe, or something, you know, kind of more along those bases a little more.
Absolutely. So it goes back to releasing that energy and getting that release and letting go. So
Yeah, absolutely. Because for a long time, it took me a long time to even, you know, get out of denial at the fact that he was gone. You know what I'm saying? So I think when I finally came out of that denial phase, then I went to the next phase, which was anger at that point, you know, and I had to work through those emotions, you know what I'm saying, and now that it's anger and ultimately understanding and you know,
whole process.
and until I finally found a place of where there was more of a peaceful acceptance.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. This has been a really great conversation. I cannot thank you enough for sharing all of your wisdom. I've just been so excited about this amazing interview. Now, what I'm most excited about at this particular moment is the little sample you're going to give us.
No doubt.
What piece are you gonna share? What sample are you gonna give us?
Well, I think it's only